Hey, good afternoon. This is Jeff. Tim's out today for some meetings, so we had a little bit of nice action in a couple of markets. We're going to talk about that and what that might mean, and kind of moving forward, kind of what we're looking for. So, in the March soybean contract, had a really nice day. It was actually up 10 on the close. Uh, got a nice engulfing shadow. Just a nice bar. Finally getting a close above some type of high, a previous high of a day, which was last Thursday we closed above it. Did close above it a little bit on Friday or above the close, but we actually took out a high finally on a closing basis, which we haven't done since clear back in December. So a little bit of nice action. We need more to really quantify this as a tradable low, but it's really looking fairly simple. At this point is old crop. We're gonna have to dump it below here, and otherwise we're gonna hold it until we get some other type of indication that we need to get out of our old crop beans on that March. But as we talked about here before, that Tim had picked up, that we've kind of traded down to this 1.618 retracement. That's coming from here to here and put to this point. Um, so it looks like a nice spot down here that market's traded to and reversing from. And it's kind of pretty simple. It's just, this is one, and then the magnet puts the back to here plus 61.8% more down to this level. So what's that mean comparatively to the recent move from this high? As you can see, coming down from here, we'll put that there, and pretty much the 38% retracement of this move comes back to the magnet, which is these open and closes over here. Now it still keeps us below the gap, so we kind of got to watch that. If we can get a move back up into here and we fail, it's going to be a pretty good indication that that move might likely be over. If we get up and close this gap and get more push through this 50% retracement, kind of got to watch the action in this area here if it gets up into there. Um, and what that might mean, well, we know China came back last week and bought some beans. Uh, we're going to need more, obviously. Maybe Brazilian weather gets worse, or the counts get down lower than they expected down there. We think we might have just priced in the bigger Brazilian crop and kind of maybe have to wait and see what it really turns out to be at this point. Whether we need to get more movement upwards for the U.S. crop, or it is going to be a big crop and we got to price in bigger crop than they've already have. So kind of time will tell, but as of right now, looks pretty simple. Hold it above these lows and see what happens. The new crop beans, same type of action. We got kind of this all numbers coming off these moves over here, off the official move from the summer to the high. We bouncing kind of back above the 62% retracement of that move. So still got to find some more support. I mean, this looks like to be support at this moment. So on new crop beans, we're going to be kind of watching these levels. Probably got to be short below it on new crop beans. At this point, if you don't have any sold, kind of just hold and wait. Kind of be looking for maybe a retracement back into the 1220. If we can get up here and close this gap, we'll have to kind of watch that, because this is going to be pretty much there's a lot of numbers in here to kind of read through here in this gap area. You got the whole move, the 38% retracement of this whole move. And you got all kinds of retracement numbers in here. That's going to kind of cause a lot of resistance against that. So if we can get that, closed, but then we fail, we're going to have to, maybe a decision point for the market and for us to maybe put on more sales, or take some other type of price risk reduction at that point. That's kind of what we're looking at. Obviously, we need more information to before we make any decisions to do anything. So we'll just kind of be watching, keeping you updated. March corn didn't really do much today. Let me make this a little bigger here. Kind of inside day, closed flat. Just didn't really get any push up or down. So not a lot to talk about except for kind of same thing in beans. Looks fairly simple. Got to be probably dump it below it and just kind of hold if you can, and see if we can get a little more push to the upside. Kind of got some retracements numbers off this recent down move here. First one's a 38% retracement, which comes in at these lows and these lows. That could be considered pretty good resistance in there at that 469, 470 levels. But you still have a lot to chew through as well. In the 455 to 460 levels, you got a lot to chew through. It's basically every 10 cents in here where your resistant levels are. So going to take some work. Corn's got some work to do to really get a good uptrend going. At this point, this is not an uptrend. Yeah, we've had a couple okay days. We got a reversal, but nothing really too exciting right there in the corn market yet. On the new crop beans, kind of just hovering down here at the lows. Not anything real exciting. Do have a reversal. We're holding, this 475 level. At this point, kind of an easy deal too. Sell it below it and look to re-own it later, or if it keeps moving up, just hold it until we get a better indication of what's going on there. I think it's going to have to kind of decide how many acres Brazil and Argentina are going to plant, and what they're kind of looking at production wise. And we've got a long way to go for our acreage as far as what we're going to plant, what we can get it in the ground, and a lot of things. So still is a lot of time, but don't get complacent either. We should be short. That's what our system's telling us. So if you're not short and you want to hedge some stuff, we understand. Just gotta know when we gotta re-own stuff and add to it if we need to. If the market's telling us to. But at this point, as long as we're holding these lows, I think we guys just kind of sit there. It's not very far away either. So stay in touch. Don't go to sleep on this market. The funds are short, but I think the farmer's still pretty long as far as new crops concerned. So there still could be room to the downside as well. So we'll keep you informed and keep watching out. Kansas City wheat, the March contract was actually down 2 today. They tried to push it lower, but just couldn't. Got a little buying back, with the strength in the bean market. I think kind of carried us a little bit in the corn and wheat markets. We're back above these lows, still in this downtrend channel. We have a 13, maybe trying to get another 13 coming off this blue 9. So maybe we're finding some bottoming action. We don't know. Obviously, there's a lot to take in here, but it's at this point, I guess, fairly simple. Just be long above these lows, and if you need to get out and look to re-own later, that's great. We can always help you do that. But at this point, just kind of be long above these lows, and we'll just kind of watch it and look for any type of action that tells us we need to dump it. So there's going to be a lot of resistance in here. It bounced off 6, which is nice this morning. Kind of hold that level. There's going to be resistance in here at this 615-ish level. All this is resistance until we can get above our line, above this trend channel, and then maybe we can get a push back up into higher numbers that we can take a look at and see how that action works, and go from there. A July wheat contract, kind of got into our box of no man's land a little bit that Tim talked about. We got maybe what could be a completed 5 wave. We got to watch the action here. If we can get, a real good bounce, if it's in a three-wave move and dies, that's also not going to be a great sign. We may have to take some action there, because then what happens in these moves, as we talked about before, you get a 5-wave move, and they end up with 3-wave corrections, and then there could be another 5-wave after that. So you really got to watch that move. This is completed, and we get an ABC, but can't break above these past levels like this 670 level, 660 to 680. If we can't get above those, it's gonna might be an indication we may need to take some action on anything that hasn't been sold. But we're gonna keep watching it. I mean, that's kind of why we like that. Uh, well, we talked about selling the 650 calls, buying the $6 put. Just kind of gives us a lot of room in there to let this action work. We can close those short calls pretty fast if we need to, uh, or cover it some other way. But that gives us pretty good protection below these lows, and gives us room to the upside for now. And if we need to reopen that upside, we can do that pretty easily. So that's kind of why we like that action, because below here, it's no good. There's just no way, no two ifs about it. It's just no good below these lows. So I think that's why we really like to have some protection on below that. So if you have any questions, please reach out. That's about all I got for you today. Otherwise, not a lot of news to really go over. So if you have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, we'll talk to you again Wednesday. Look for those, daily commentaries that'll come out later this afternoon. And as always, there's risk in trading futures and options. Trade in light of your financial conditions, and always, talk to a professional before trading. So otherwise, talk to you Wednesday, and have a good evening.